Leave it at that.
Well, let's just sort of say that we called the meeting to order. So far, there's everybody but David Atwater is here. We expect David will probably be joining us soon. So the next item of business would be the approval of minutes, and we'll give John a chance to read through them.
Committee doesn't apostrophe.
Oh, okay. That's it. That's your.
Other than that, substantively, it's good. But yeah, we want to be correct all the way around.
Well, to order 107. Okay.
Yeah, that seems minor,
to approve minutes.
Okay, so is there something you're going to change in the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve first, and then somebody needs to.
Second.
Okay, billing Duart, and then is there a correction? He wants something. He wants an apostrophe added.
Yeah, in the what? Third, fourth, fifth paragraph from the bottom. Second line would be the committee's intent. So,
Apostrophe.
not committees as in plural committees, but as in,
Okay.
but committee as in possession.
Got it.
Okay.
So
you want to make a motion to, I'll second the correction.
Okay.
So I guess we vote on the correction first, right?
Right.
All in favor of the correction, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we vote on the actual, unless there's more, go with the motion.
Now I'll move that we approve the minutes. That's correct.
All right. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any public comment? I guess not. Okay. And there's no old business. I just wanted to go over the, I made two sort of minor changes to the initial draft that I sent out, and I just wanted to highlight them so that everybody, the first one was to list the names of all the members of the committee. That's in the second paragraph of the introduction. And I added this statement that all of whom are taxpayers in the town of Groton, since that's one of the requirements for membership is to be a taxpayer. The only other change that I made where's this? Yeah, in the first paragraph of the process section, John pointed out that I used the word devise, and he thought it should be device. And that was a word that I had, when I wrote the thing, I didn't like it, but I couldn't think of another word. So what I did is I reworded the entire sentence. And so now it says that the town may devise a tax relief program of its own to benefit elderly.
That's what you were probably thinking initially.
Yeah.
Because word check would have said either word is good.
Right. Yeah.
What's a verb?
Well, I looked them up and I couldn't. They, according to my dictionaries, they mean the same thing: device and devise.
I thought devise was a verb. And device.
Well, you can also have something of your own devise. You can do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I agreed with your criticism because I thought it was bad wording.
But no, you rewrote it in such a way. I think that was you were thinking we're going to devise our own plan.
So so those are the two changes I made from the initial draft. So oh, here's Dave.
You already voted. Just kidding.
I voted me anyway.
David, was there anything in the minutes of the last meeding that you wanted changed, or you're fine with them?
No,
okay, because we did vote to approve the minutes.
We approved the minutes already.
one comment.
Okay. Well, I just got through pointing out that I made two sort of minor changes from the initial draft. One was to put all of our names in the second paragraph of the introduction, and one was to reword the first paragraph of the process section. It means the same thing, but I think it's stated in a better manner than it was before.
Well, the only comment in the first paragraph, you say resolution calling for the creation of a study. Seems a little redundant. Maybe you could just say committee to undertake the study.
Yeah, delete the first study.
I have it with me. Everybody agree with that? I don't have a problem.
Where are we?
The first sentence of this thing, introduction.
I noticed that,
Oh,
but I
and,
didn't.
and
But I can't help myself.
But it was
Okay.
just, reading it, it just,
Yes.
All right, so I delete the first instance of study.
All
right, it is deleted from, okay.
Rather study committee just.
And anything else that anybody wants to?
No, I think you did a nice job.
Just under the recommendation of the committee, the very last part of the third paragraph, it says based on 2020 income. It should be based on 2021 income,
Okay.
and then period, not a comma.
Where are we again? On the very last couple of words of the third paragraph.
Under recommendation of the committee on the second page.
Right. And that, so, but I'm talking about in that third paragraph, it's the last couple of words. So,
Yes.
so I should change it to 2021. Okay.
You have where we are, Paul?
Nope,
Okay.
no area based on the 2021.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that anybody?
Yes. So you have in the introduction, the second paragraph, the committee was not appointed until March of this year. I think strictly speaking, at the end of the day, we were appointed April 5th or 6th. And just because there's the 60-day issue, I think it'd be better not to suggest that we were appointed in March, which.
Well, I thought we were appointed in March. It was late March, wasn't it? Well, I was, yes, but, well, we were named. I guess you would say we weren't actually officially until there was a full roster. Actually, I think I have mine.
I had a conversation with Juan Melendez and Lisa. There was a whole lot of last minute brouhaha around when the appointment was.
Hold on a second.
Curious what your actual letter says.
Well,
Even after our letter, I think.
my initial appointment was in September 8th. It says, please advise you were appointed as a member of the Tax Abatement Study Committee. But I was the first one, and nobody else got a letter until sometime in March, I believe. But it says appointed.
Correct, but the committee, you were appointed, but there wasn't.
Right, but my recollection, pretty strong recollection, is that the appointment letters went out in late March.
The appointment letters went out in late March, but remember when they went out, they thought there could be 7 people on the committee. So the appointment letters went to 7 people. And then that had to be fixed at our first gathering. 2 of the people sort of, and so they did not send out another letter after that.
Would the clerk's office have that?
Everything I'm saying was in a conversation with the clerk.
Give them a call.
And if there's confusion about it, then we just need to word it.
what if we just said March-April this year? Let it go with that.
I think if we're not comfortable with when.
Well, the thing is, we are well within 60 days of late March. Either way, we're well within our time limits. But I'm positive that I mean, I don't know that you can sit. I mean, if a letter went out to somebody, if every one of us got appointment letters before the end of March. I mean, it's true that 2 people were appointed who ended up not being on the committee, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, I imagine if you're looking at when the committee was formed, it would have been the night of the resolution that the council passed. Because after that, there was a committee that didn't have anybody in it.
Well, if that was the case, then we're about 7 months late with our.
Well, I know. I mean, but they hadn't appointed people. But so I mean,
Right, but
people are trying to spec it that way. I mean, to me, that date's irrelevant for what we're doing.
How about if we just said the committee began meeting on April 6th? How's that? That just
Just delete the reference to the appointment.
That's safe.
All right, the committee began meeting on April 6th. Okay, anything else to?
Yep. You go. Yeah.
So getting back to what Christy was talking about, changing the income, say 2021. I think the numbers that are on this sheet were probably the 2020 income limits. Because 2021 income for married is 46,400.
Okay, where are we in on the?
Our recommendation of the committee and the third paragraph at the very bottom.
All right, so the numbers here are the new numbers, 21.
Okay, so the
So change 45.8 to 46.4.
Right here. And 38.1.
okay,
And then change 37.6 to 38,100.
okay. Anything else?
So a general thing, one of the things we learned during this process was the difference between the words tax abatement, tax credit, and the exemption. I kind of learned I have to be careful how I use those three words. You say in a number of places, John, first of all, it was a masterful report. If I had written it, it would have been 10 pages long. You managed to do it in 3 pages. Bravo. But you use the word tax abatement several places where I think it ought to just say tax relief and not refer to abatement just because of the meaning of abatement. So one of those is, well, again, credit is a specific.
It's which the proper terminology?
For
Depends
the
on,
circuit breaker program, it's really a tax credit.
Credit.
but process, the second paragraph, the town of Groton already provides a significant number of
Okay, tax
relief programs to its customers.
That's better, more generic.
Right, and then again in the end of this second line, John, in addition, there are a number of optional tax relief.
Yeah, I've got that already.
Right.
Okay, good. Let me just see if I found it and anywhere else.
Now, let me do a search.
Yep, one more. The second sentence under the recommendation. As stated above, Groton already provides significant tax relief to its citizens.
Okay.
What was that last one now?
The second sentence of the first sentence of the recommendations of the committee.
Actually, the second sentence, but
upward.
it's the second line.
So you're in the process section, or the next section.
At the end.
Oh. Recommendations? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Recommendations.
First sentence.
And I didn't know,
Yeah.
Mary, circuit breaker program. Is the circuit breaker sort of an unofficial term that's used, or is that?
The state's.
So I just wonder if it should be in quotations.
I don't think that's necessary. I
You
mean,
don't think? Okay.
because if you look at that paragraph, it says it's known as the circuit breaker program. So, I mean, it's made clear that that's just what it's called. So I don't, well, I sort of hesitate to put things in quotes.
I was just asking staff is there actually a different name for it, and it's sort of unofficially the circuit breaker.
I think the state calls it only tax relief, but it's known across the state as a circuit breaker. It's what,
AKA,
yeah, they put it in their guide and.
that's what everybody calls it.
Yeah, the homeowner's totally the same.
I mean, I'm fine if you're fine with it this way, then I'm fine. I was just questioning. What was my other?
So on it just says homeowners or renters.
That one to read.
But I think that's our name. Is it?
I can't
What
change
is the
that.
name of the study? What is the name of our committee?
Tax abatement study.
Yeah,
Committee.
okay, so I can't change that. I can't change it in the
Also-
title.
Acronym is tax.
Right.
Clever. Yeah.
So I just have a suggestion, the third paragraph under process. The third line, towards the end of the third line. It might recommend should be easy to calculate with a high measure of certainty. I could see people taking an issue with the idea that, well, it doesn't have to be easy to calculate. Perhaps using possible instead of easy. It should be possible to calculate with a high measure of certainty.
I'm fine with changing it. That's what you want. I don't think it matters, but
I
that's
see
fine.
some counselors who could react to the word easy. That's why I'm.
Well, still where you're at.
Under process.
Under process.
Oh, we backed off that, under process.
I think
The
Third
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 paragraph.
paragraph, end of the third line.
We're on.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
only find 2 lines in the third paragraph. What am I missing
Oh,
It's not a sentence.
here?
So we're changing it to possible to calculate.
Why, I'm not sure why you're
What?
changing that.
again, if I'm a
Well, we were
town
talking about
council
lines, I think.
and I read it should be easy to calculate, I could see myself reacting and saying, well, it doesn't necessarily need to be, just because it's not easy doesn't mean we shouldn't do it.
I think the point that you're trying to say is that because of the review you went through, you want to make it difficult for staff to try to implement this program. Like, to me, that's where that sentence ties back to.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to convey, but I don't care. If you want to say possible, we'll say possible. I mean, to me, it doesn't make any difference.
It's the possible to calculate with a high measure of certainty. It was the, we wanted, you should be able to do it with a lot of certainty.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
why it
prefer
should be
possible.
easy to do.
I totally hear you. If you were writing it for me, it'd be fine, but I know who we're writing it for. The other thing I wanted to do, and I apologize, a variety of things have happened in my life. The last 2 weeks have been nuts. We learned a lot through this process about the programs the town offers, the total amount of property tax relief for residential homeowners. It does, if you don't want to put it in the report, that's fine. I'd be interested in suggesting that we do a sort of one-page addendum or something that just outlines some of that information that we learn for the, again, for the council, because I think it would help them. And I'd be willing to put that together. I had hoped to do it and
I don't
send it
see,
to John.
to be honest with you, I don't see the reason to do that.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to do that. It might be open.
I said in the process section that we familiarized ourselves with the programs so that we knew what they were. You know, if they're interested in finding out what they are, they can ask the town staff. I mean, that's the way I think about it. I don't see any reasons.
Okay, the way I think about it is, it's work we did, we've got that information sort of at our fingertips available. I think it'd be helpful for them to know. You know, you say there are a number of tax relief programs provided by state statute that Groton hasn't made available.
Right. But
we actually know.
What we were tasked to do was to recommend a program based on our own discussion, which is what we've done. I don't think we have to tell them what other kind of and explain in detail every other program that's out there.
I was not suggesting that we explain in
Well,
detail.
I mean, I just don't.
And if others disagree, that's fine. I just, if it were me,
Dave, what do you think about that?
Again, too heavy into it, I think just.
Right.
We're going a little far
So,
afield.
We're just looking to see what the.
No, it's not a bad idea,
the
but I think,
original
sorry,
Resolution.
with this council, you may be, I understand where you're coming from, but having watched some meetings and stuff, it may be less is more, if you know what I mean.
I will say that we have provided town council with all the matrices that outline all the available programs for veterans and elderly. They've already been given those matrices. They're very aware of what all the programs are available under state statute.
Will there be a quiz?
Don't quiz me.
Okay, I
Anything else,
recommend,
then?
make a motion that we pass the John's draft resolution to the council as amended.
Well, one thing I wanted to add, I mean, the way I have it structured, I'm signing it on behalf of the committee. Is that what people want to do, or does any, I mean, I don't think we need to have each sign.
That's fine.
as long as all our names are there.
Okay, all right, so,
So that's my motion.
okay. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Hey.
Aye.
Right. I can actually, if you'd like, I can email a copy of this to you and you can print it out so that we all have a copy. Should we do that?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We'll go next door.
It's still called draft report, but that's, I'll change the name. I mean,
A nice job summarizing everything, John.
Yes.
It's concise and to the point, which is refreshing.
well, it's one of the things you do learn to do as a lawyer. At least you hope to do it.
Just so people understand my sort of where I was coming from. I'm not sure that counselors understand that the most tax relief any individual receives under existing programs is probably $1,200, $1,500. I'm not sure they realize that. I'm not sure they realize the average. We came to the point where we understood the average relief anyone got was about 500, I think, right?
I don't think you could.
I don't think they-
Spreadsheets.
no.
No, they're
Well,
not
actually,
gonna-
I think they do, because I remember talking to Juan about this before, when this whole thing started. You know, we had gotten the preliminary materials, and in looking at them, I noticed, you know, most of them were trivial in terms of what the savings would be. And I mentioned that to him, and he said, yeah. So I think they are familiar with the structure.
One maybe, I don't know, but I don't think most of the counselors, there's a
That's what
number
they
of
can find out
reasons.
by asking me questions.
There's a number of reasons why I don't think most of them could answer those questions. And since there are other things coming
You're
to
right.
them, I just thought it would be helpful
Of course,
for
they can
them.
always ask Mary. She knows more about it than any of us.
Or they could appoint another committee.
Right.
Just wanted you to understand where I'm coming from, why I thought we could give them a paragraph, a few sentences.
We'll have
that
the
would-
mediator.
But that's okay.
Now. Oops.
The night this appears on their agenda, they'll probably ask, or will be, I assume, invited to attend the meeting if we want to.
Right. Yeah, well, we were talking about, I don't know if you arrived yet, but I was talking to Mary about how we go about submitting the report, and she's not even clear on that. I'm going to call Juan and find out how we go about doing it, and I'll do whatever he tells me to do. And I will change it, the report in one respect, I'll put a date on the top. I guess the date should be today's date. That's the day that we did it. Whatever he tells me to do, I'll do.
Yeah.
And I'll tell him that we're perfectly happy to. My guess is that, I mean, I was the chair, so I guess really, I mean, if you want to come, that's fine. But my guess is they'll be happy with just me.
Right, it's like a department head with the
Right.
budget. But if they want the rest of us there, okay.
Yeah.
Well, typically,
Or if you want to be there, you're well, you know. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
it's
fine.
open.
typically the committee is invited. But again, I would think you just send the report to the town manager and the clerk. I mean, Of
Yeah,
course, you
well,
can talk to Juan.
Or maybe, you know, I could actually, maybe I'll talk to Betsy. You know, she's maybe the person to talk to.
What's the agenda?
According to my weather app, there's light rain starting.
Yeah, there was a system right offshore. They were hovering for a while. They said it might.
The wind has been unbelievable.
I know, it's nonstop.
It's ridiculous.
I guess we shouldn't be. We're still on the record here.
Well, we could talk about innocuous stuff.
Right.
Because yesterday I was over at the Y and Mystic Y, and I had to lean into the wind. It was blowing.
Well, I do a lot of biking, and you know, I'm biking up this hill.
Get it.
You know, it's like,
Fighting not just the
Really,
hill
yeah.
gravity, you're fighting the wind.
right, it's unbelievable. And even coming down an incline, if the wind is against you, you can feel it slowing you down.
Well, I mean, I have one of those.
Well, actually, I guess,
75
so we're set, so we can, do we want to adjourn?
John, just typo things, the second paragraph, the second sentence. Members is capitalized. Do you care? Do you want to leave it there that way or change the capital?
All right. Yeah. That's fine. I'll take the capital off if you want. Anything else? Yeah, I'll do that.
Ooh, should we say how many times the committee met?
No, they got minutes.
That's true.
I think we should keep the members capitalized. Just kidding.
All right, well,
This august body.
these are relatively small changes. What I'll do is when I get back to my house, I got to go somewhere from here, but when I get home, I'll just email everybody a final
Right.
version.
Today's date.
Right. Anything else, Natalie?
No, just I guess if we're going to do that, if you're going to email this out, can we just agree if somebody sees a typo or something that can be changed without, we can just say, hey, John, you might want to change this typo. And
That's fine with me if it's typos, yeah.
yeah,
On
just
the
type,
second
just
page,
talking
under
typo.
recommendation of the committee, that third paragraph, the very last word says income, comma.
Oh, it is. I didn't know. Okay, that's definitely something we want to change. Okay, thanks. Anything else? Yeah, we were talking about that while you were gone. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Betsy Matauscher and ask her first, and then we'll go from there. I mean, maybe if she is insured, then I'll call one. Anything else?
This is very, very minor, but under recommendation of the committee. I don't know if we want to capitalize that's not what I was thinking of but do you want to capitalize the C in committee? It's sort of a heading.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
What do people think?
If he does, then capitalize the I on impact and
Impact,
fiscal
yeah.
impact. I don't care because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. to me.
Well, then leave.
I'll capitalize both. How's
Yeah,
that?
and then on the third paragraph under the circuit breaker program, the last line in 38.1%, it's not a big deal, but looks like you got extra spacing after the 38 comma 38,000. Shift that over.
Your eye is good. My
No,
husband
I don't-
spots those. I can.
No,
never
that's
see
not
them.
extra space. It's
It's just the way it is set up. before.
because when I delete,
When I push
Yeah,
it, go,
it
when you
puts
backspace, it takes out the comma.
It's just the kerning on that character.
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, are you talking about after the comma?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
100.
38,100. There's no comma after the 38,100.
no, after the 38.
Oh, you know, well, hold on, you may be right. Nope. Just the way it is.
Looks like it's extra space, but it could be
Yeah,
illusion
but it
because of the
isn't.
character, because of the font or whatever.
Yeah, it's the one because of the one.
One.
It's a typeface. I suppose.
Okay. Not completely off.
Okay, anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Oh,
I believe it is, yeah.
We didn't set a date for another one, so I just
No.
wanted to be sure.
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Where's the cake? I know you got a cake.